Good day, human LatiosAzurill. This is LatiosAzurill, and welcome to WPL Season 9, Week 12, with the Philadelphia Froakies versus Stormplays and the San Diego Sneasels. So, this week, to cap off the main season, we're pretty much running very similar sets. So, big threats I see here is obviously Zygarde, because it really depends on what kind of set he's running. I'm kind of afraid of seeing a D-Dance right there. Kabutops can definitely be an issue for us. Diggersby really scares me because that thing will hit like a truck. All he needs to do is set up one Swords Dance and he can basically sweep if he gets the opportunity. Klefki is really scary because Prankster T-Wave can definitely be a problem for us. Tornadus Eye is definitely a threat that we're going to be careful about, and of course Mega Venusaur is always a problem, especially given that it does lose two of its weaknesses, being Fire and Ice, when it Mega Evolves with Big Fat. That said, let's get into the match. Now, he is going to be leading with the Kabutops while I lead off with Aggron. I'm actually going to Mega Evolve and just straight up set up my rocks right here. Now, interestingly, he's going to set up his rocks now while I go for a Heavy Slam. Now, I was kind of predicting the switch into Tornadus there, with him predicting the EQ, which is why I went for the Heavy Slam. Now, this time he's going to bring in Tornadus, interestingly. He's going to land his Focus Blast. I was kind of hoping he'd miss, but, you know, that's fine. We're going to lose our Aggron at this point. He's going to U-turn out, busting my Disguise on Mimikyu. So he's going to go into his Klefki while I set up my Swords Dance. Now, really, he's going to Toxic me, which puts me on the timer while I set up another Swords Dance, and at this point, really all I can do is just Shadow Claw and hope for the best while he sets up the spikes. I was kind of, there's really not too much I could do. I would set up another Swords Dance, but I kind of really couldn't afford to because of the timer and all. So I can go for a Shadow Claw on the Mega Venusaur, but he's going to live. +4 would have been nice there, right? +6 would have been nice at that point, because +4 wasn't quite enough to OHKO. We didn't quite get the crit right there, so I can Zen Headbutt, take up the Venusaur. Problem is, I really can't switch out Bikini because Rocks and Spikes up. So, I can Zen Headbutt on the Tornadus, take that out. Really, the best case scenario is if I can actually get some flinches on the Zygarde, but I'm not going to end up flinching it. It's going to get set up its Substitute. Best thing I can hope for is just break the Substitute, and maybe he can just keep going with that, but he's going to set up, I'm just going to go for 1,000 arrows, take down Bikini. Okay, fair enough, I go on the Donphan at this point. Probably shouldn't have actually straight up Ice Sharded, but then again, he's going to get his Toxic off. Another Ice Shard is going to take down his Zygarde. He's going to E-Speed right there. It's not going to do a whole lot of damage, but that Toxic is kind of a problem. Now, here's where mistakes were made. I probably should have actually just straight up EQ'd rather than went for Ice Shard here, because he's going to set up his Swords Dance, and at this point, I am in trouble. Because now he gets his Ayapa Berry back up to 74%, and he is at +2. All he has to do is spam return. Now here, he's going to crit Cresselia. Now that, I'm pretty confident that crit mattered, because bold max defense, I think that probably was a problem for us. And then again, I would have just gone for Ice Beam anyway, so there's really, I wouldn't have taken 2 hits. The only way we would have won at that point is I would have gotten the Freeze Hacks, but 10%, that's not very likely, plus my luck had probably thawed anyway. So, and that's not really the way I'd want to win the match anyway. So, that is going to be another L for us, but, you know, given that at the end of Week 4 we were 0-4, that we're ending the season at 6-6, I can't really complain. And, you know, we actually did make the postseason, which is kind of amazing considering how the season started. We did end up with a pretty good KO differential of the season, though, so that definitely did contribute to us making it into the playoffs. Of course, Week 1, at least Round 1 of the playoffs, we are once again facing Storm, so we'll see if we actually learn from our mistakes from this week, from this last week of the season, so to see if we can actually win a playoff match. We'll see what happens then. So thank you for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!